Hey birds and bees, and welcome to the YouTube version of my minor safeties video. This is episode 2. With episode 1, I made it strictly for Instagram TV, which is why it's in the vertical format. I will be trying to make YouTube versions of them as well. We'll see how it goes, because we all know when you're watching YouTube, you prefer it this way. Today's episode will be shorter. It will be explaining personal information and why you shouldn't be sharing it online. I'm going to take this down. Yes. So let's say you're in a live stream and everybody's sharing where they're from. You want to join in. Should you? Well, provided everybody is only sticking to countries, then yeah, go for it. It would be pretty hard to track you down if you say you're from England. Yeah, there's a lot of people in England. It's going to be hard to find just you in there. Then as we narrow it down, cities. Is cities okay? Well, if you live in somewhere like London or New York, then yeah, I'd probably say it's okay. Provided that you don't go more exact. Like, for example, which part of the city, or if you are from a town instead. This is because if someone wants to find you, that makes it so much easier to do so. The bigger issue is things like school or place of work. If you work for a big company, like just say Starbucks or something, then that doesn't matter so much, provided people don't also know where you live. With the Starbucks example, knowing both would allow them to visit all the Starbucks in your town until they found which one you worked at. What you have to remember is these things are relatively harmless, but the more little details you add, the easier it is to narrow it down to find you. The seemingly little things just add up, like everyday stressors building on and building on and building on until you finally explode in anger. The more information that you give away about yourself, the easier it is to track you down. You could have just tagged a location at some point and written hometown, or you could have been even more generalized and taken a photo of something with a notifiable landmark in the background and written, my hometown. It's very important when doing location things to not put anything in the description that connects you to it, like the my hometown example. Or posting pictures of yourself in your school uniform. The logo being visible means that someone can very, very easily look up your school and find it. If your school doesn't have a unique name like St. Jude's or something, but you also have your rough area available, it would be very easy to be like, oh, there's only one St. Jude's in Dorset. Someone who wishes to harm you could very easily find your school, sit outside, wait for you to come out, and either follow you home and then have your home address and stalk you further until they get an opportunity to strike, or they could just take you then and there. Other personal information that shouldn't be shared is your age if you are under 18. The exact reason for this I mentioned in my previous episode on grooming, so please go back and check that out. I'll be sure to put a link in the description. I go into a lot more detail there over this one. You should always be aware when you are posting online what information you are revealing that could help someone track you or your family down, because they could do serious harm. My personal experience was about my stepdad, or now ex-stepdad, my brother's father. It's a very long story, so I won't be going into it today. It's also very personal. Maybe I'll go into it another time. Squish, 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 squish. Long story short, we ended up moving across the country in order to get away from him. When my mum and I posted photos of me in my new school uniform online, mutual friends that did not understand the situation fully because we weren't being public about it, shared it with him as well, meaning he was able to track us down and know our address from that. Something he wasn't even legally allowed to know at that time. All I want from you guys is to understand that there are serious dangers out there from seemingly harmless things. And I don't want you to put yourself in situations where strangers have a chance to hurt you. All ending videos will be in the vertical format, as this is mainly a Instagram TV series. This video will be from my good friend Ashton, who is sharing his worries and concerns on the situation. Thank you very much for watching, guys. If you watch both versions, please let me know. If you just watch this version, also let me know, because I want to know if it's worth me filming and editing 2 videos, or if it's okay for it to stay in the vertical format, which is less work for me. But if you prefer it like this and being able to watch both and seeing if they're any different, that's also really good for me to know as well, because it knows that my hard work is actually, you know, going somewhere, because otherwise I might as well just stick to the vertical format. But we'll see how it goes. Thank you very much for watching, guys. See you next time.
One thing I wish minors would know online is that they need to keep their personal details safe and hidden from anybody online. You may think you know who you're talking to online, but that's not always the case. Something as simple as where you go to school, your last name, where you like to hang out with friends, or even what clubs you go to can be just that one key detail that someone may need to find you online. Always keep your personal details secret, and unless you have met this person in real life or you know it's a family member, do not give out your personal details, because this will leave you open to dangerous people possibly finding out where you live or where you go to school, and could put you in a lot of danger. So be safe and keep your details hidden.